Okay, so you can see here, this is the homepage that you get for Sparx Reader. This is Kian's, who sat with me now. I'm going to do some reading together so he can show some top tips. So up at the top in the black box, it has got what his current test is and how much he's got left to do. So you can see he's got all of his homework to do because he's done 0%. That will come up with whatever percentage they've got to do. You can also see here, it will show you like where he's done his vocab practice and where he's at in the league table. So if we click reading, it comes up on here. We'll just click continue reading, and then the first thing that it's a good thing to do with child is to check on their settings. So if you click here, the arrow at the top, you can click onto settings, and then what I'm going to do is just get Kian to check these and check which one he likes best. So if you just say yes for which one you like the best, so that one, which one feels nicer on your eyes?
Yeah.
That one?
Yeah.
And then this one. That one again? Yeah, that one, or that one. So 1, 2, or 3?
Just
two. And then Merryweather, Verdana, Comic Sans, or Readable? Comic Sans. And then white, blue, cream, yellow, green, purple, pink, or orange?
Just white.
Just white?
Yeah.
And then would you rather have a line like that or a guide while you're reading?
A line.
A line. Okay, so now we've clicked on his settings. It should make it a little bit easier for him to read and follow along. So the way I always start with reading with students is to read a little bit myself to get them started and then get them to do a little bit of reading. So I'm going to read the first bit. So it says, in the jostle to disembark, I can barely stay upright. We are swept towards the giant metal structure of the bridge rising from the water, so much bigger than I expected. Angular limbs of steel stretch their way towards the sky in intricate lattice patterns. 3 giant diamond shapes separated by water, and once you look closely, crawling with movement. Seeing the tiny figures near the top lands like a punch in my stomach. Those dots are briggers, and despite what I may wish, I am destined to join them, like a splinter in the skin. The bridge somehow doesn't seem to belong in the smooth surface of the water. Even the birds circle its towers in outrage. So I've read the first paragraph. I'm going to get Kian to carry on from here. So you take over, Kian.
Stone viaducts on both sides of the river led towards the construction site.
So let's just stop there. Go back to there. That's viaducts. So try that again for me.
Stone viaducts on both sides led to the river towards the construction site.
Excellent. Carry on with me. It is hard to imagine.
It is hard to imagine trains steaming along them and over the Forth estuary from Edinburgh to Fife, and yet that's
That is what they tell us the bridge is for. And then we're going to go to the next bit. Carry on. The rhythmic sound.
the rhythmic sound of the waves
Is
punctuated by a million hammers and hollers, while ships of all kinds of zigzag on the sunlit surface of the Forth below. Ferries, fishing boats,
pleasure vessels.
pleasure vessels, lifeboats, and brigger transport.
Fantastic. So then I'm going to do a little bit more. Come, Jan. Mother receives the usual winks and whistles. Despite being in her 30s, she is what Dave would call a looker, with her easy grace and her pleasant demeanour and a voice like velvet. What do you think that word means, demeanour? You heard that before? It's quite a hard word, isn't it? So demeanour is where it's like what like you give off about yourself. So if you come off as like quite confident or quite shy, if you held yourself quite well, that's like your demeanour, what that's about. And a voice like velvet. But these men don't know about her rock hard resolve. No one messes with Janet Nichol. Make no mistake, least of all me. Go on then. She stops to ask
a curly-haired brigger for directions to Mr. Arrow's office, but youth smiles at her broadly and booms. Mr. Arrow's office is on the other side, Miss, and he's not always on site in any case. But you're in luck today.
Mrs. My mother corrects.
Mr. Arrow happens to be on the right there, of the side of the fourth. This morning, see that
See that distinguished
gentleman with the blue
neckerchief.
neckerchief. That's him down there on the pier, talking to the two bridge designers. Mind, I wouldn't interrupt them just now. Miss, they'll be talking about something important. What is it concerning?
That's a bit sexist, isn't it? That they're sort of saying that these men are talking about something important. I wonder what's going to happen next. Please call me Mrs., she corrects once more. My son here is in need of employment, so I resolved to come and speak to Mr. Arrow.
The young man laughs. You want to bother Mr. Arrow with that? Listen, Mr. Arrow.
Listen, Miss, Mr. Arrow.
Oh, listen, Mr. Arrow is in charge of this whole bridge construction. Do you really think he will care about giving your boy work? Let me tell you, Mr. Arrow, it's far too important to bother with the hiring. He's got people. He's got people for that sort of thing. You can write to the offices in Queen's Ferry, perhaps.
Mother's face falls.
Before I control them, my legs carry me right down the pier, towards the three gentlemen' earnest conversation, leaning together over
Leaning together.
leaning together,
So they're all peering over a drawing.
yeah, leaning together over a very detailed drawing which distracts me for a moment. It is also very beautiful, though I do not understand the patterns of lines and numbers. Above me, seagulls continue to scream. I chose to take it as an encouragement.
Oh, well done, that's a long one. John! Mother hisses behind me, trying to catch up in her hand-me-down heels, but my mind is made up. So he's going to go and ask for a job now, I think. So let's see what happened here. So on here, they've got some questions that we're going to answer about what we've just read. So John wondered how many men were working up on the bridge. How many men did he think were up there? Was that in the story? Was it more than 50? Was it at least 20? Was it 100? No, 200 or thousands? Do we think that was in there? Where is it? Is it
No.
It's not, is it? That wasn't in the story. So let's do not in the story. Oh, well done. John's legs carried him towards the gentleman. What had John and his mother been told? Mr. Arrow was far too important to bother about hiring, unless then when they had to leave. They'd exited at the wrong side and needed to return. The accents weren't from the area, so no one would listen. Where's that going to go?
Mr. Arrow was far too important to bother about hiring.
Oh, yeah, because it said that he was like laughing, wasn't he, when they were asking for a job. John's legs carried him towards the gentleman. What had John and his mother been told? It's the same question again, so sometimes it asks you twice because you took a little while to think about it. Yeah? It's trying to trick you, yeah, so you'll go, not in the story. John wondered how many men were working up on the bridge. How many men did he think were up there?
Not in the story.
Okay, so then you earn points for each little section of reading that you can do. So you can see here, if I click next, it will take me on to how much progress made on the task. So you can see there, 17% through the homework. And then if you click continue, it'll take you back. Or you can check out here and go back to the Sparx Reader homepage, and then you can see where we're up to. So that's just a quick tip to show you quickly how Sparx Reader works.